And there I was the girl from Suits.
This one's wife. Insta, her many faces. This one's wife, as you know, utilises Instagram for the purpose of the pursuit of the prime aims. It allows her to control the audience, draw fuel from them by way of their responses, and to manage her facade. It might potentially lead to residual benefits in terms of promotion of her brand and possible monetization by virtue of sponsorship of certain posts, if any organisation is so stupid as to want to waste their money in that way. She thinks that she's just sharing joy, that she's informing you about her life, that she's sharing things that should be celebrated, and she's telling you about what's going on with her brand. She doesn't know the true reason that her narcissism, and she doesn't recognize that she is a narcissist, drives her to turn to Instagram time and time again. I mentioned before about how Instagram will be her undoing, and it will. And I do not doubt that I'll be pointing this out to you on many occasions in the future. The reason being is that there are no guardrails to now stop her rushing to Instagram and pumping out content which tells you more about what she really is than she realizes. That for those of you who are educated and informed by your glorious narrator, you are able to see the things that other people do not see. You are able then to realize so much more about the truth of what this one's wife is. You all understand that she's a chameleon, that she has no real self that's shown to the world, but instead it is a construct. Dead and empty on the inside, her narcissism selects the fragments and shards and pieces and aspects of other people's lives and passes them off as her own. That she wants to portray herself as the loving wife, the superb businesswoman, the talented actress, the lovable cook, the kind-hearted philanthropist, the doting mother, the lady with the idyllic family life. She wants to portray all of those things to you because that's what she equates with how she believes that she is actually seen. She wants to be seen that way. She sees it in other people, notably, for instance, the Prince and Princess of Wales, and her envy for their lifestyle is seized upon by her narcissism to cause her to try and emulate it in a particular way. It's also done in order to seek the control and fuel from the audience. Just recently, it was International Women's Day, and naturally this one's wife's narcissism has seized on her being an empowered feminist, even though she's only ever got anywhere as a consequence of using men. An individual who actually hates women and is unpleasant to them on a regular basis, and instead toadies around men in order to get their favour to help her. Nevertheless, this rampant contrarian portrays herself as someone that loves to empower women, that cares about other women, and as a consequence of that, what does this mean? Yes, she has to go to Instagram to tell us all about what a lovely woman and kind, caring person she is on International Women's Day. Typical of the behaviour of the narcissist, she not only seeks to hijack the day for her own purposes, but she once again utilises social media. And she therefore posted a number of images. Let's have a look at them. First of all, plucked from the archives, is a picture of a very young this one's wife with her natural frizzy hair, which she never ever displays any longer, and her mother. They look to be sat on the grass amongst the trees, and it's taken when perhaps she's, 3-4 years old would be my guess. The purpose of sharing this photograph is triangulation with object, to make it seem as though she is the caring daughter who loves her mother. Notice there's no picture that is shared of her, Doria, and Thomas Markle Sr. He has been disengaged from. He has been cut out of history like he never existed. And instead, she holds up her relationship with her mother, even though her mother seems to have disappeared as of late. Her mother is a non-intimate secondary source and is subjected to the shelf dynamic, which means basically this one's wife engages with her periodically when it suits her to do so. And here, she's in effect taken Doria, or Dorito as some of you call her, off the shelf in order to use her for the purposes of triangulating her through an object with the audience, to make them go, "Ah, isn't that lovely? A caring daughter there with her loving mother." The next photograph that she triangulates you with, again triangulation with object, is another picture, this time of her and Doria years later, to try and convey the image of we've always been close, we've always been connected, we've always had a bond. Once again, no picture of this one's wife, Doria, and Thomas Markle Sr., notwithstanding the fact that he did so much for her. That even if you might say, well, it's International Women's Day, so why should a man be involved? Well, as you're going to find out, she does involve men, and it would be argued that her father was integral in enabling her to achieve what she did by way of becoming an actress, and perhaps empowered her that way, and that she might want to express some gratitude. But of course she doesn't, because he has been disengaged from, and instead it's another picture with Doria and her to demonstrate, see, our bond has endured over the years, even though of course we all know that Doria disappeared for a lengthy period of time, something which this one's wife's revision of history conveniently shoves to one side. I was mentioning whether any men would appear after Thomas Markle Sr. is not involved, and lo and behold, look, it's the Prince of Pink Pancakes, holding a young child who we are all led to believe is Lilibet, although it's not stated as such. Here the Prince of Pink Pancakes is in his casual wear, shorts and t-shirt on, baseball cap back to front, hugging the young girl who is presumed to be Lilibet. Presumably here, this one's wife, again engaging in triangulation, is to say, look, our daughter is an empowered female who has a father that loves her, and I can look at that as the doting mother that I am and smile. Of course, as many people have pointed out, that this is a picture which shows neither of them wearing life jackets, although they are in a boat on water, which in some places would actually be an unlawful act, and at the very least, rather remiss. Surely you would want to ensure that your child is protected by wearing a life jacket. But as ever, this is not something that would occur to Prince Harry because he's a dunderhead, and it won't occur to this one's wife because she's got no emotional empathy, and of course a life jacket would get in the way of making a lovely picture. It'd be bulky and inappropriate, and therefore the safety of the child is secondary to the aesthetics of the picture. Once again, this one's wife wanting you all to believe that on International Women's Day she's there for the empowerment of her daughter by risking her drowning. Naturally, this one's wife can't let Harry hog the limelight. She has to return to it. She appeared in picture 1, picture 2, and here she is in picture 4. Looking like Harry's actually trying to throw her into the sea, having had enough of her, wearing her stupid hat with the unpleasant feet on display, looking almost like she's an old woman who perhaps is being given one last trip to the ocean, being held up by her caring husband as she experiences the sensation of the sea breeze, the salty sea, and the sun on her face before she's taken away to be euthanized. Well, here it's her attempt, again through triangulation, to demonstrate, here I am, another aspect of my many faces as loving wife having some fun with my loving husband. Isn't it a wonderful International Women's Day that I can show you the very aspects of my life? My relationship with my mother, my daughter's relationship with the possibility of drowning, and my own relationship of being euthanized by the seaside. As ever, it's the chameleon nature of the narcissist engaging in this performative behaviour to make you think that she's something special. She trots this out on International Women's Day with the pretense of caring about it, but it's all again self-serving. Everything that this woman does is always about her, and yet again she goes racing to Instagram to share these images to try and get to the prime aims, while she thinks it's all about demonstrating that she's this kind, empowered woman. As usual, you know, as a consequence of my analysis, it's completely the opposite. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.